I've had a few people asking about my programming and my daily timetable, the way I do that because I do that digitally. And I thought I would show it. Now, it's hard for me to show because the full thing because there are a lot of links in here that link to my personal school stuff. I can't show you everything, but I can show you a lot of what I've done. Um, this is the first page that you get to when you open my program. My program is I did this in Google Sites, the new version of Google Sites. Um, so over here you've got the Central, our school uses Central, so they're my links to Central, whether I'm inside of the school or outside of the school. The department portal, I've got some handy links in here. Accreditation, which is done. Teacher Standards, Teach Starter, G Suite, Seesaw. You can see that I added them but didn't get around to adding the actual links to them. These are ones that I use fairly often and they're in my favourites, so it makes it a bit easier. I don't often go here, but at least it reminds me of things that I do tend to use. If I go back home, I've also got links to English, Maths, Kappa, Science, PBL. Our PBL focus was a HSIE geography focus for term 4, so I combined them. Term 3, it was a math one. So that'll probably change this coming year. PDHP homework. Our school has now become a no homework school. Yay! I don't know what's happening over here. I keep having to click to wake up the photo booth. Flexible learning. So how about I just show this first page first? So this is my opening title page. With this, I've got Google Slides, my Google Slides over here. That does, if I were to click this little link over here, that does lead to a Google slide set where I have my program on there, my overview on there for week 1 all the way up until week 10. I've put links here to my individual programs. It's a really shocking face that it just stopped on. I've got links over here to the individual programs that I use, so I can click on that because I put all my programs up on Google Drive and then I can just link it through here. I'm sorry, I just zoomed up and a name was there, so I had to edit that out. However, my grey partner and we have collaborated to put together our term overview, and I acknowledge that I've done that on here. I'm by no means saying that this is all me. This is the way I choose to display my program. However, I work collaboratively with my study partner to do the programming. Okay, so if I were to click on English, it's just got a lag to it. Okay, so our English overview. When you click on the English page, again, it had my stage partner's name at the top, and I haven't checked if she's okay with that. I'm really having a lot of troubles with getting that to work and clicking on things that are showing who I am, basically. So we've got our English overview that we've put together that goes through what we did in English in term 4. There's our spelling program, which I hope does not have anything on it. Don't go up that far. This is our spelling program, and our dictation test, which is our assessment strategy for it. So maths, I actually made a whole new website for maths. Pretty proud of this one. So this again was a Google site, and I split my maths into number and algebra, week by week, measurement, geometry, and chance and data. And if I were to click on it and let's say go into week 1 over here, I've got my whole number focus, my learning intention success criteria. Again, that has stopped. I apologise. My learning intention and success criteria. I've got my introduction, watching that video, my activities. I did make this website accessible to my students. Just because I have the whole program on there doesn't mean that I wasn't going to let them have access to it. If they work ahead, they work ahead. There's nothing wrong with working ahead. If they want to learn more, that's ultimately why I'm there. I'm teaching them to learn. Yes, I am teaching them, but I'm teaching them to want to learn, to love to learn. And if they skip ahead, they skip ahead. That makes it easier for me, in my opinion. It means I can teach them more. It gives me more opportunity. They'll know things. Anyway, I'm skipping off on a tangent, but I did make this accessible. They can click on these links, get into different games. Let's say I click on Roll and Reverse. That will open up a PDF of the game I got them to play. The questions for the Plickers quiz and the exit ticket, the second session, and it goes on from there. I used a lot of things like the QR codes and Padlet. I love Padlet, and things like that. This was my favourite lesson. It stopped recording. This was my favourite lesson ever. What is a triangular number? I had no idea. They had no idea. N and N plus 1, they had absolutely no idea. And then by, I'd say about half an hour, 45 minutes in, they got it. They were doing that algebra pattern, figuring out what 100 as a triangular number is. It was awesome, and they loved it. They loved that they could understand that they could understand something that they weren't even supposed to learn yet. It was just the algebra came up within this video, and that sparked their curiosity, so loved it. I just showed my email address, so I have to blank that out. And the unit assessment is there, but that one I didn't make accessible to the students because I don't want them to be able to access the assessment. Okay, lots of ums. I guess I can edit them out, but we'll see. Okay, if we go back here to my actual program, and I'll have to edit that out again because that was my grade partner's name yet again. But you get the point. I had this. I've got my English, Math, Science broken down into all KLAs. Flexible learning, so I can't click on that because it does have my school details on that, but flexible learning is basically I must do's and can do's, and that is where I explain how I used it, and will use it this year, and it is where I collated all of the ones that I made accessible, because I did it as a Google slide set and made it accessible to my students. What else is there on here? Let's go back. Yeah, that's about it. That's my digital program. I'm having a look at the OneNote one that was shared by Pip Cleavers, I think her name is, on Facebook. I don't know whether I'm going to go with OneNote. I am a Microsoft educator. I forget the actual thing, but I've done the Microsoft certification. I have almost done my Google certification. With my Google certification, I have done all of the lead up into it and went to do the exam, and I paid for the exam. That was at the most stupid time last year. I decided to pay for it, and you have 7 days to complete it. And after that 7 days, if you haven't done it in that 7 days, it just makes your score 0 and you fail. So I did that right when Year 6 farewell was happening and the end of the year and presentation day and all of that. So that was the most ridiculous decision on my part. So I've got to redo that. And yeah, that I went off on a tangent, but basically I am very familiar with the Google platform. I'm familiar with the Microsoft one. I use Google more so than Microsoft. But I want to see maybe if Microsoft becomes something that I want to use a bit more this term. So, yeah, that was my program. I hope you enjoyed my video about my digital program. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will have more videos coming out soon.